Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the season finale of Season 3 of the All-American ARCA Series. We are here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Atlanta 250. My name is Mason Heimbaugh with Team Goon Squad, bringing you the action here tonight, 1080p, 60 frames a second. Folks, I hope you all are excited and ready for the action here tonight. 163 laps that we are going to be completing here tonight. 85% fuel that the drivers are allocated for the start of this race. 3 additional sets of tires and no fast repairs. So, as we begin to have our drivers make their way out onto the track and begin their qualifying runs here today, let's take a moment and talk about the championship as it currently stands. There's quite a bit of interesting action happening there in the championship right now. Not necessarily in the team championship, but when you look at the drivers championship, things start to get shaken up there just quite a bit. So, taking a look right now, Zachary Rogers currently standing at the very tippy top of the drivers championship with 488 points. His teammate, David Tooker, with 468 points, both of the drivers with Mountain Man Motorsports, the team that is currently dominating the series as far as points is concerned in the team championship. So, with all that in mind right now, for just those two drivers, there's only 20 points separating these two drivers. Now, the third place driver of Casey Carrington sitting at 453 points with Team Dodge at this point in time. Casey is in an interesting spot here. Now, from what I understand, drivers that complete the race at the very tippy top come away with 50 points. So, there's kind of a gamble, that could be played here by Casey Carrington of the number 9 machine if he chooses to do so. But I'm not exactly too certain how tonight's race is going to play out, as we've only just started. We've only gotten into our qualifying here at the moment with Cody McCorkle all the way at the very tippy top with a 31.61 as his best time around. You can see Alex Carr. Oh, here we go. As timing and scoring updates on us here, we can see some of the drivers making their way up into the top 3 already has shifted on us. Ron White with a 31.47. Finley Fitzsimmons, the 31.59 in the 06 machine with Michael Vandermeed. The number 7 machine taking a 31.60 this time around. So really great to see. Really great to really have all these drivers here today for the season finale, I know that I'm certainly excited to be here calling this race. I know that a lot of anticipation has been building up until this moment. You know, throughout the whole season, it's kind of always just do what you can and hope for the best. But when it comes down to the final race of the season, as far as Zach Rogers is concerned, with 488 points in the lead, and David Tooker, his teammate, just behind him with just 20 points behind him with 468. You know, that is a very close battle between those two drivers. Now, really, Casey Carrington that we're looking at right now is the driver that I'm going to be most curious to see come away any position higher than that of Tooker or Rogers. Now, frankly, that doesn't exactly guarantee him a win here in the Drivers' Championship, but if Carrington here, with currently a 31.60 as his best time around the track at this moment, sitting in third place at the start of this race here, that's going to put him in a very good spot. Hopefully, he'll be able to hold on to that as he gets bumped down by Finley Fitzsimmons with a 31.59 as his best time for, I believe that's going to be his final lap here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Carrington going to be pushed down into that 4th place spot. But who we're looking at right now, it's David Tooker in the number 83 machine. Currently sitting at the very bottom. Oh, nope. Right as I say that, he goes all the way to the tippy top with a 31.42. That is going to be worrisome for anyone going to be looking to try and compete with that. The only other driver that really I would expect to see come out on top of that or compete with that, Zach Rogers, sitting in 4th place right now, ironically in the number 4 machine with a 31.51 as his qualifying time. But qualifying isn't everything. Qualifying is merely just a way for drivers to be able to place themselves on the grid in a fair way. That is all qualifying is. There is no real indication or any real information that you can gather from qualifying that will indicate to you how the race is going to go. So merely all of this is for these drivers is just how well can I do by myself out on track, and can I get myself as high up the grid as I possibly can and need to be able to have a good start. So as our qualifying has finished and we are here ready to go for our starting grid, we have it here on our screen currently. David Tooker, the 83 machine rating from California, taking that first place spot. Wyatt Nadel, the 04 machine, taking that second place spot, rounding out your first row. Ron White, the 27 machine, in your third place spot. Zach Rogers sitting in your fourth place spot, rounding out your second row. Robert Hill in the 05 machine, going to be in fifth place. Matthias Weeks in the 11, going to be in sixth place, rounding out your third row. Finley Fitzsimmons sitting in seventh place. Casey Carrington in eighth place. Michael Vandermeed in ninth. John Creedler in 10th place. Cody McCorkle in 11th. James Silver is going to be in 12th place. And as we work our way down the grid here, it's going to be Radburn Shutters in 13th. Alex Carr in 14th. Lane Doyle in 15th. Gareth McAllister in 16th. Davis Warren in 17th. Cody Ricketts in 18th. Devin Scroggins in 19th. Kyle Hall in 20th. Alex Penn in 21st. Craig Martin in 22nd. Nick Terrell in 23rd. Greg Carr going to be in 24th here. And rounding out the field, it's Daniel Half in the 33 machine, starting off in 25th at the very tail end of our field here. So as drivers make their way behind the pace car here for the very first time here at Atlanta Motor Speedway and get themselves set up and ready to go. So 163 laps that we are going to be completing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and frankly, AMS really a tough track to, well, my experience, at least, from all the races that I've called and seen, specifically in the ARCA, it's always interesting. It's always very interesting to see how the race progresses on, because, frankly, Atlanta is one of those pretty tricky ovals. I'm going to be curious how this race starts. I am curious how it's going to end, but the only way to find out is for the green flag to drop for us to get this race going here. But I gotta say, with how tight of a battle that we have for the championship right now, I mean, it's really could be anyone's championship after tonight's race, and that is gotta be pretty exciting for the drivers involved. That's gonna be Zach Rogers, David Tooker, Casey Carrington. You could even possibly include Mike Husby in that as well. Not sure if he showed up here today, but the white flag is gonna drop this time around. And here we go, David Tooker, the 83 machine, into turn one. A very, very good run here from the 83 machine. Let's take a look at the rest of the field as they work their way out of turn two, coming down the back straight. We're looking at Finley Fitzsimmons in the 06. Well, not necessarily looking at him at this moment. Let's take a little bit of a closer look on the infield here and see what we can see. Zach Rogers, the 04 machine, right here in fourth place on the outside of the 27. Ron White sitting in third place at this moment. Both of these drivers duking it out here. You can see Zach Rogers trying to defend anything that he can here, and also push his way up to Wyatt Nadel, who's in that 04 machine. Excuse me, I'm getting my numbers mixed up here. The 04, the 4 machine. All right, got that worked out here as we come down the back straight, heading into turn 3. Starting to fall single file here for most of our field. Let's see if we can get a bit of a wider angle. There's a great view there as they make their way out of turn 4, coming down the front straight. And here we go once again, going down in the back straight here. Getting a feel for what our drivers are doing here as we're taking a look here at the top, really the top 10. Let's go even further back here. Taking a look at the 32 machine of Lane Doyle, duking it out with Alex Penn and the number 30 machine up on top of him at this moment. And you can see a lot of these drivers here opting to take that real high line and drop down low as they go out of the turn. But going into it, some of them little interesting line choices here, and you'll frankly I've seen that a lot here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's just time and time again, you know, drivers are taking different lines, seeing what they can possibly do here. There's a lot of different opportunities to get a lot of speed here, get an opportunity to make the pass, get into some draft. It really, wow, look at this. Starting to form a potential three-way battle here. Looking at John Creedler in the 99 machine up on top of Alex Carr in the number 1 as we make our way out of turn 2 down the back straight here. It's lap 5 of 163 here. This race is brought to you by Open Group. More on Open Group later in the broadcast. Stay tuned for that. But at this moment in the race, we've got a few battles happening out on track. You know, it's kind of all scattered all over the place here on this field as we progress on. It's crossing the line. It's only lap 6 of 163. Excuse me, getting a little bit ahead of myself. But frankly, this is where we are going. Oh, who is this? Getting a little bit wobbly back here. The 81 machine, it looks like, of Nick Terrell. Not exactly sure what was going on in that Doritos-sponsored 81 machine. Man, I really want some Doritos now. Even after that little bit of an incident there, he's able to collect himself back together. He's going into turn 1 now, still trailing behind the 87 of Kyle Hall at this moment, who we're locked on with. Kyle Hall getting right on the bumper of that Kellogg-sponsored number 5 of Radburn Shutters. Going down the back straight, heading into turn 3 here. We come out of turn 4. A little bit of pretty good battles happening back here. Kind of towards the tail end of the field. You can see a great shot there looking towards the checkered line. You can see just how spread out a lot of this field is starting to become. But a lot of great racing that we have seen down on track already. And frankly, a lot of very competitive racing, and that's exactly what we would expect to see of the season finale of Season 3 of the All-American ARCA Series for the Atlanta 250, presented by Open Group. So let's take a look up here at the lead at this point in time. Oh, we got a caution out, actually. Let's see Kyle Hall involved in this one. Let's see what's going on here with the number 87 machine. Might have been a few other drivers involved in this one. We're going to have to investigate here. Let's put on our cap here and see exactly what happened. Oh, whoa. Okay. We got a couple things happening here. So let's back this up here if we possibly also can. We'll even possibly see if we can. So the 81 machine of Nick Terrell was involved in this one. Let's see if we can get another replay here just one final time. So here's Nick Terrell just in front of them. Contact the 32 machine involved. Oh man, what in the world is going on here? I just want to get a good replay of what exactly unfolded here. Looks like the 32 machine got a little loose there, collided with the wall on the top side, coming down the front straight here. Collecting Greg Carr, Alex Carr, Nick Terrell, as well as the driver involved in that incident. I already lost his number there. The 32 machine it was? Yeah, Lane Doyle. Also involved in that incident here, and it looks like he has decided to park it for the night. That is going to be it for the number 32 machine behind the wall here. And it's only lap 11 of 163 here, and already we are seeing a driver deciding to call it quits here for the season finale. And that's unfortunate to see. You know, it seemed like a really just bum mistake that Lane Doyle probably made there. But either way, that's going to restack our field here and give our drivers another opportunity at a green flag restart. That's going to put David Tooker, Zach Rogers in the first row. Ron White, Cody McCorkle in the second row. Finley Fitzsimmons and Robert Hill in the third row here on this restart. As we make our way down the back straight here, heading towards turn number 3 and get ourselves... Ooh, who is this back here? The number 52 machine getting a little bit loose there? That is not the correct number there. And neither is that. can't seem to find the number 52 machine on my timing and scoring here, but that seemed to be the number, either that or it was the number 25. I can't tell. Anyway, drivers getting themselves stacked up behind. Let's see here. So we got an EOL for the number 32 machine, plus a license point for causing the yellow. So that will be Lane Doyle in the number 32 machine, going to be receiving an EOL, but it does appear that he is already decided to call it quits for tonight's race and has taken it behind the wall here already. So unfortunate to see. Again, uncertain what exactly happened. We kind of were all over the place with our replays there. We weren't able to get an exact picture of what happened there, but unfortunate to have that happen for Lane Doyle here for the season finale. But either way, either how, there is still plenty of drivers left out on track that are still looking to take that checkered flag and see where they can place themselves here for the season finale. And frankly, I am excited to see how this unfolds. You know, it's between Zach Rogers and David Tooker. This is going to be exciting. Both of the leaders here in the championship that you could honestly say, given David Tooker only 20 points behind that number 4 machine of Zach Rogers you see in that Jim Beam sponsored machine on the outside of the 83 Monster Energy car. As we are going to come across the checkered line here. The pace car is in, the green flag, is out. David Tooker with the launch on his teammate. Gonna see what he can get himself as far as gap is concerned here. Zach Rogers gonna see about getting to the rear end of that number 83 machine, but look at this gaggle of cars making their way down the back straight out of turn 2. Cody McCorkle, Ron White, Finley Fitzsimmons, Robert Hill, all gonna be involved in this little pack of cars here. You can also see Casey Carrington, the number 9 machine, starting to trickle his way into the top 5 here, sitting in 7th place at this moment. If he sticks with these drivers, he'll be able to get himself up there. Let's actually ride on board here for just a quick moment with the number 9 of Casey Carrington and just get an idea of what it's like here at Atlanta Motor Speedway from the perspective of the roof camera of the number 9. And right now, as we're heading our way into turn number 3, you can see Zach Rogers closing in on his teammate David Tooker rather quickly here. Not exactly certain how long David's going to be sitting in first place here, but it's also uncertain how long it's going to be before the drivers sitting here in the top 10 really are going to make their way up even further the grid here. Look at this pack of cars making their way down the back straight here. Let's take a little bit further look down the field here. Checking in with Alex Penn, the number 30 machine, sitting on top of the 87 of Kyle Hall at this moment as they make their way out of turn 4. And across the checkered line, it's going to bring us lap 16 of 163 here. Great racing from all of these drivers here as we make our way down the back straight here once again. Checking in with our leaders, it's David Tooker, Zach Rogers. Look at this, Zach Rogers down on the inside as we make our way down across the checkered line. The number 4 machine with just enough time. He does it. He's putting himself up into first place here. Lap 17 of 163. The number 4 machine looking very, very comfortable here as he is starting to build himself a little bit of a gap now. Just about a quarter of a second between himself and his teammate David Tooker. You can also see Cody McCorkle, the number 2 machine, getting himself up here into 3rd place. And looking like he's starting to trail down the number 83 machine of Tooker. Let's see how that progresses on here. But as meanwhile, as that progresses on up front, we're looking at Wyatt Nadel in the 04 machine. Just above him, it's Kyle Hall, the number 87 machine, looking very, very phenomenal here. A lot of these drivers all doing what they can, getting side by side. Really look at this pass that the 888 machine of Gareth McAllister is going to try and make here down on the inside of the 04 of Wyatt Nadel. Gareth is Gareth is successful in doing so there and continues with a very, very good amount of speed here as he works his way into turn 1. He's now up on top of the lead here of this pack of cars that we've been tuning in with. Gareth McAllister going to be sitting in 16th now as he continues to trek his way back up to the 87 of Kyle Hall. Meanwhile, looking here with Casey Carrington, the 27 of Ron Hart, these two drivers swapping back and forth here rather methodically. We can see a couple side-by-side battles happening here on track already as we make our way into turn 1 here once again. Matthias Weeks, Cody Ricketts going to be sitting in 8th and 9th place respectively as we work our way down the back straight here once again. Checking in with our drone operator here at Atlanta Motor Speedway as we follow along with the number 70 of Davis Warren. You can see the nice long string of drivers here as they work their way into turn 1. Not a whole lot of action happening here out on track. Everyone is pretty calm and steady at this point in the race. Oh, as I say that, a little bit of a shake and wobble. I'm not sure what was going on there. Looks like someone had a bit of a moment. Cody Ricketts, possibly? I'm not sure who that was there, having just a little bit of a... Okay, we got someone coming down into the pits. It's Cody Ricketts, the 24 machine. A little bit of lockup there from the rear tires as that Dr. Pepper 24 comes down into the pits and probably going to get something repaired on that machine. I'm not exactly too certain what exactly that would be, but here at this point in the race, lap 22 of 163, I can't imagine it would be tires or fuel related, but we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out as John Friedler gonna be right now on the outside of the 30 of Alex Penn here as we work our way across the checkered line heading into turn 1. See just a couple battles happening out on track. You can see right now Cody McCorkle, Casey Carrington, both side by side here as they work their way into turn 3. Coming out of turn 4, it's Casey Carrington up into third place now. Carrington, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, another driver in the championship, sitting at third at this moment with 453 points. That's just... If my math is correct here, if school ever taught me anything, that's 35 points behind Zach Rogers at this point in time. Now, if you also remember at the beginning of the broadcast, I mentioned that if Casey Carrington is able to finish on top of Zach Rogers here in this race, and David Tooker for that matter, as David Tooker is only 20 points behind the leader of Zach Rogers, this could be huge. This could be upsetting for the championship. I mean, just imagine you're the leader in the champion. I mean, it's already pretty tight as it is as far as points is concerned, but just imagine the upset. But right now as we continue on, Zach Rogers at this point in time going to be down on the inside of David Tooker here as we work our way out of turn 4 and across the checker line here once again. Zach Rogers back behind his teammate of David Tooker here as we work our way into turn 1. The lead has switched here once again. But meanwhile, taking a look back here through the rest of the field, giving all of our drivers a little bit of attention here, seeing what they're all doing and what all they got planned here. Oh, we got a little bit of momentum happening back here. Not exactly certain which driver that was shaking and baking there back there for a moment, but as we tune in, we're taking a look here at Craig Martin in the number 22 machine. Greg Carr, the 25, just in front of Craig here at this point in time. Starting to fall single file here as we cross the checkered line heading into turn 1, the 33, Daniel Half. Looking down on the inside there, he backs off for just a moment. Whoa, right there as he comes out of turn 2. That looked a little bit closer from that camera angle than it probably actually was here, but either way, that probably definitely to the drivers seemed a little sketchy there. But let's take a look here. Ron White, Casey Carrington duking it out for third place here as we work our way. Looks like coming out of turn 2, excuse me. Oh, Carrington, no! Okay, all right. All right, so it looks like Ron White had a little bit of a moment there as well, but Finley Fitzsimmons able to capitalize on that incident there, that Casey Carrington scraping into the wall coming out of turn 2. He's going to fall back down into 5th place, and what a shame, too. Carrington with a great run there, working his way all the way up into 3rd place. Now Finley Fitzsimmons, the 06 machine, going to be looking to push his way up here into the top 3. Finley Fitzsimmons not exactly competing for any championship wins at this point in time, as he's currently tied for 19th with David Westergreen at 223 points in the race. But Finley Fitzsimmons, nonetheless, an excellent driver, going to be looking to complete the race in the top 3, possibly take away a podium here, and might, frankly, be able to do so. But it's still the very early stages of this race here, so it's too early to say who is exactly going to do what here. But I'm excited right now. Lap 30 of 163. It has been a lot of great racing here, a lot of really solid battles out on track here as we are looking down the back straight. We're still locked down with the number 2 of Cody McCorkle. Currently trailing behind Robert Hill in that 05 machine at this point in time. The closest battle that we have right now. Ooh, whoa. What's going on there, Alex? Keep it together there, buddy. Alex Penn, the 30 machine on the grass as he comes on across the checkered line, it looks like. Maybe just a little bit after that, caught the grass, and the 87 machine of Kyle Hall had to check up there real bad. Almost collided into the rear end of Alex Penn there, but able to keep it together. And Kyle Hall going to push his way up into 13th now. So looking at Robert Hill, Casey Carrington, who was pushed down all the way into 5th after scraping that wall coming out of turn 2. He's down here into 6th now, battling it out with Robert Hill Jr. as these drivers continue to stack up here towards the front. A lot of battles very close to one another. Not necessarily for the lead itself, but for some very good positions here in this race. And we're not even, frankly, a full quarter of the way through the race yet. It's been just competitive all the way through. I can't imagine what the final 20 laps are going to look like. There we see our field making their way down the back straight here. What I'm curious to know here as well is how tires are going to start to come into play as we progress on through this race. Lap 34. Now, knowing that we only have 3 sets of tires for this race, I'm going to have to imagine that, if I recall correctly, pit stops for, well, we are on also 85% fuel, which should be enough to make it all the way to the end of the tire wear, because with these ARCAs, you're able to outlast the tires on fuel, depending on the track, of course. But if I recall correctly, it should be around the 50 to 60 or maybe 70 lap mark. We'll give it about a 20 lap margin there for this. But look at this, a 3-wide battle of Michael Vandermeer, Casey Carrington, James Silvers. All going to be 3 wide here. Actually, excuse me, that's Cody McCorkle, Michael Vandermeer, as well as Casey Carrington. That was some pretty good action there between these drivers as they now make their way out of turn 2 and down the back straight here. Vandermeer in that Bass Pro Shops number 7 machine down on the inside. Or is that Cabela's? Or is there just Cabela's on there as well? There is Cabela's on there as well. Okay. All right. I was just making sure I wasn't crazy there. Michael Vandermeer, just a very outdoorsy guy here. He's got connections with everyone. He's even got the tracker on there. He's all kinds of hooked up. If you want to go fishing, if you want to go hunting, Michael Vandermeer's your guy. I'm only kidding here, folks. But James Silvers, Cody McCorkle. I mean, look at this battle of cars that we have down the back straight heading into turn 3 here. Oh, are they going to try and go 3 wide here again? I really hope they do. That would just be phenomenal to watch here. And frankly, these drivers have just put on an incredible show here. Let's actually take a moment to ride on board with one of our drivers and just kind of get an idea of what it's like down on track here at this moment. Let's ride on board here with Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Let's see. Kyle Hall, you've been selected. All right. So, Kyle Hall here, the number 87 machine, reigning from Daytona Beach. Going to be here sitting in 13th at this point in time, battling it out with Wyatt Nadel, who's currently sitting on his outside, out of the camera view. But as we make our way down across the checkered line here, that's going to bring us lap 38 of 163. You see the 04 of Wyatt Nadel bringing the pass down onto the inside in front of Kyle Hall here. But listening to the engine sounds of these ARCAs making their way around Atlanta Motor Speedway, I love it. I gotta love it, folks, and I hope that you all are enjoying the action that you're seeing here tonight on your screen as we continue our race here tonight for the Atlanta 250 presented by Open Group. And for those of you that would like to know more about Open Group is a group management platform designed to navigate the core issues that businesses and gaming communities experience. Each group has its own culture, objectives, and requirements. Open Group develops custom solutions to meet those challenges. Improve the automation, training, and individual accountability within your organization with Open Group. Big thanks to Open Group for sponsoring this season, as well as having Team Goon Squad broadcast the event live week after week. Frankly, this has been a phenomenal race here thus far, and I really have no idea of how it's going to end, as right now there's just a really great battle of cars happening right here. Who's that on the wall? Casey Carrington. Oh no, Carrington with the, no, it continues. He's probably got something damaged to that number 9 machine, and that's going to drop him all the way down here to 19th. Here for the season finale, the third place driver with only 35 points behind the championship leader at this point, not having the best race at this point. And Casey, if you're watching, if you're listening, I apologize if any sort of commentator's curse came your way. It wasn't intentional. I promise. I know that you might believe that it does, but I promise. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Anyhow, Davis Warren that we're locked on with currently, the number 70 machine, sitting in 12th place at this point in time, working their way into turn 1 here with this excellent group of cars here that we have battling between, it looks like, 8th place all the way down to, looks like 14th. And actually, while we have a moment, let's take a look at our track map. And I know it's a little bit cut off there down on the bottom right-hand side of your screens, but it gives you the general idea here of where all of our drivers here out on track at this point in time. You can see the number 83 machine of David Tooker all the way out at the very front of our field here, with Zach Rogers, number 4, in 2nd place. Finley Fitzsimmons in the 06 machine sitting in 3rd place. Ron White in 4th, and Mathia Weeks in 5th place, rounding out our top 5 here for the Atlanta 250 of the All-American ARCA Series season finale. So taking a look here as we're just kind of checking in through our field and seeing what the happenings are. It's Alex Carr and Greg Carr, I wonder if they're related, are both duking it out right now for 16th place, kind of running side by side here with quite a bit of room between each other, giving each other plenty of room to work with, as looks like the number 1 machine of Alex Carr is going to be falling behind here of the 25, but they're just moving and grooving and chugging along here as the rest of the field, you know, once these guys start to get stacked up like this and into a real good draft package, I mean, it's incredible how quick they start to put down some very impressive lap times, as well as some incredible speeds here. Right now we're seeing top speeds of about just over 180 miles an hour, and frankly, once these drivers are in a very good draft, I mean, they could get that all the way up to possibly 190 miles an hour on a good day. I'm not exactly certain if that's true or not, but I'm sure it'd be fun to find out. Anyway, looking here, we're still, I mean, this is just an incredible battle of cars here that we have. We've kind of been looking at these drivers here for a while, as right now it's kind of the place to be out on track at the moment. I mean, if you're any of these drivers looking for a battle, I mean, this is where you want to be. You got drivers going low, going high, trying to go 3 wide, 2 wide, bumping and banging doors. It's great. This is some fantastic racing that we have here between the field. Deanna Piano in the chat says we should ride along with the number 70. And you know what, Deanna, you got it. Let's go ahead and take a ride along here with Davis Warren in the number 70 machine, and let's take a moment to appreciate the sights and sounds here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Really great driving here out of the number 70 of Davis Warren here. I hope you all appreciated that lap, or really lap and a half or so here along board with the number 70 of Davis Warren. Really some incredible driving out of the entire field that we're seeing here, and that's just a little sneak preview of what it's like behind the wheel here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in an ARCA. It's just phenomenal, the level of driving skill it requires to be able to go 170, 180 miles an hour around an oval and stay competitive. It truly is underappreciated in a lot of terms of sports, I would say. But for all of us that appreciate the motorsports in general, it is truly an amazing thing to witness. Drivers just ripping that wheel left and right, trying to keep those cars from getting away from them. But look at this, silvers. And looks like John Creedler both going to be duking it out side by side. Alex Penn, the number 30 machine, down on the inside here, working his way out of turn 2 now. And down the back straight, we got a little string of drivers here for long as they work their way down into turn 3 now. Excuse me. And interestingly enough here, there really hasn't been a whole lot of change-up for first and second place. There's actually been quite a bit of separation, but look at the battle here for third place. Finley Fitzsimmons, Ron White duking it out, coming out of turn 2 and down the back straight. Finley Fitzsimmons, after holding onto third place here for quite some time, he's going to see Ron White give him a little bit of pressure here, but the 06 of that Subway-sponsored machine, as well as Bass Pro Shops, I love these sponsors on these cars. This is just great. I'm loving it. You know, we got Subway, we got Bass Pro Shops, we got Cabela's. I mean, what else could you ask for? I mean, it's great. It's great. I love it. Anyway, Ron Hart here, pushing his way up into third place in that Phantom machine. And coming out of turn 2, down the back straight here, I got to say, oh, man, Finley. Woo! Man, oh, man, oh, man. Finley Fitzsimmons here, just a little bit of side information for those of you that might not tune in for the... Oh, we actually got pit stops. We got pit stops happening here. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so we got a couple drivers coming down here into pit lane here already. It's going to be Finley Fitzsimmons, Michael Vandermeed here on lap 54 of 163, just about where I was expecting them to. And frankly... if they would have stayed out any longer than that, I'm not exactly certain how much longer they would want to stay out. I mean, the leaders are really kind of the benchmark for that, if you will. So we'll just have to wait and see until someone like David Tooker comes down into the pits, which frankly I have a feeling David's going to be probably one of the last drivers to come down. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Maybe David's got a little bit more of a conservative pit stop strategy in mind. We'll just have to keep an eye on that and see how that comes along. But Devin Scroggins made his way down into the pits. Robert Hill down into the pits. Craig Martin, Daniel Half. So pit cycles are definitely happening, and that's going to shuffle around the field here just a little bit. But as that begins to cycle about here, that's also going to move our field quite a bit here. I mean, we're going to have drivers kind of all over the place. I mean, we're going to have different positions scattered throughout, and people are going to be banging against doors with each other that are... Oh, the 87 machine! Kyle Hall! What's going on here? Whoa! What in the world just happened there? Okay, folks, I normally don't like to do this, but I really want to back this up here. I want to see what happened to Kyle Hall, because that was very interesting here, what just happened to the 87 machine. That almost could have caused a wreck here. I'm not sure if he was trying to come down into the pits or what. That kind of looked like he was trying to do so and just missed his entry. And, oh, man, I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. Yeah, here he goes down into the pits this time around, as we're still green flag racing. No caution came out because of that. Kyle Hall, excuse me. Wow. That name I haven't heard in a while. Kyle Hall here, going to be coming down into the pits. And right now it's going to be Wyatt Nadel, excuse me. It looked like Matthias Weeks was going to be the leader here, but right as I say that, Wyatt coming down into the pits, Matthias Weeks also as well. It's going to put Radburn Shutters in the number 5 machine up here all the way at the tippy top of the field. And right now, I got to say, taking a look here, let's actually find out where our leaders are and see how that's going to play out here and where they stand. Zach Rogers currently in 6th place and David Tooker in 7th. So really, they didn't come down too far from where they were at because of pit stops. And frankly, I really wouldn't expect anything less from those two drivers. They are definitely very confident behind the wheel and definitely know what they're doing here. So pit stops here, under green flag conditions, always kind of an interesting thing, because you have to make it work perfectly. You have to get in, get out as fast as you possibly can. Any second that you spend in there longer than you need to is a second loss on the track, and that can cost, frankly, an entire race, depending on what you're doing and where you're at in this race. But luckily, we're just almost to that halfway point here, as we're lap 60 of 163 here. We're looking at the 05 machine of Robert Hill Jr. sitting in 9th place at this moment, as we continue to shuffle through our field here. And right now, looking at our timing and scoring, the only couple drivers left to come down into the pits, looks like Radburn Shutters, Davis Warren, and Nick Terrell sitting in 14th at this moment. He can kind of take his time on that one. And really, Radburn Shutters, Davis Warren, these two drivers, Radburn came in lap 9 and Davis Warren came in lap 10 during the first caution. So ultimately just taking advantage of the time while it's there. Not exactly certain if they took tires. It does not look like they did. It looks like they only took fuel. So they should be still on the same tire strategy that everyone else is. So interesting to see that they're still out as long as they are here. But really great to see the number 5 machine of... Hang on a second. So Radburn Shutters is actually the 7 machine? Is that what I'm understanding here? I believe that is correct. Or is he the 04 machine? Okay, no, that is Wyatt Nadel that I'm looking at. That's why I'm so confused. Okay. All right. Anyhow, after that little bit of confusion there on my part, excuse me for that, Radburn Shutters gonna be... Oh, actually, I think he's gonna come into pits. There he goes. Down across the white line, and here he goes into pit road. Let's see exactly where Radburn's gonna come out after he comes out of the pits here. I mean, staying out all the way until lap 62. That's the benchmark right there, folks, for tires here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for this race is about 60 laps. Is about the limit that you can probably do. I mean, I'm sure there's probably other drivers that could go a little bit farther. I've definitely seen it done and happen before. I mean, I've seen drivers completely blow the pit strategy out of the window. And frankly, iRacing allows you to do that to a certain extent where your tires, well, they just go to a certain point where they just, well, don't have any tread on them left, and they're really bad to drive, but they don't exactly just make your car undrivable per se. But anyhow, that's all just jibber jabber as we continue on with our race here. As it looks like our entire field has come down into the pits with the exception of Davis Warren here. So actually, I could be wrong. Davis Warren could be the benchmark here for the race in that number 70 machine. And Michael Aguilar in the chat asked, did anything happen to Lane Doyle? Unfortunately, Lane Doyle was involved in an incident around lap number 6 very early on in the race, and ultimately was the cause of the first caution of the race, and was served an EOL for that incident. So Lane Doyle decided to park it for the night and has decided to call it a night, unfortunately, for the number 32 machine. But frankly, since that point in the race, it has been nothing but just phenomenal driving, as there's a little bit of emotion there from, looks like James, nope, who was that? Looks like a lap driver, Cody Ricketts, the number 24 machine, going to be down, it looks like just a lap or so here in the number 24 machine at this point in time. So as drivers are getting on track, getting those tires warmed back up, I mean, frankly, at this point in time, they should be pretty warmed up at this point. I don't think anyone's going to be coming out on extremely fresh tires here. What in the world? Okay, so Davis Warren, the number 70 machine, coming down into the pits here once again. Yeah, here he goes. Okay, so I'm not sure if I missed something there, but Davis Warren, the number 70 machine, coming down into the pits, lap 67 of 163. I'm not sure if he came in the first caution for fuel and just, I think that's actually what happened. He was the last driver that needed to come in, and so I guess he blew the benchmark there, folks. I think it's actually closer to 65 laps is where you could probably take these tires out onto, but either way, either how, that's all just speculation here at this point, as the leaders have all cycled out, and Zach Rogers, David Tooker both up here first and second place, and Zach Rogers actually able to get himself up here into first place here, as we're just about 12 laps to go before we reach the just about halfway marker here in the race today for the Atlanta 250. So a lot of great racing here today, folks, and frankly, I have enjoyed every single bit of action that we've had here on track at this moment. But what I want to ask for the folks watching at home, who's your favorite driver to win tonight's race? Just the race, not necessarily the season, not necessarily the championship, but just the race in general. Who's your favorite to win, even if it is just purely fantasy? You know, if it's just a miracle happens and your favorite driver happens to come across the line, let me know. Let me know in the chat who you would like to see come across the win and take the podium tonight for the Atlanta 250 for the season finale of the All-American ARCA Series for season number 3. Just as we continue along here, we're just looking at Matthias Weeks following along Michael Vandermeed in the number 7 machine. The number 11 of Matthias Weeks dropping down low here as we work our way into turn 3. Door to door here with the number 7 of Michael Vandermeed. Very good work here from both drivers. Vandermeed a little close to the wall there. Vandermeed, very good work there. You know, even given that Vandermeer had plenty of room to work with there, but when you start to wash out to the outside wall like that coming out of these turns, it can start to get a little sketchy. It can feel really disconcerting that you're getting that close to the wall and you're not really sure how much space you actually have left before you hit that wall, which is the last thing that you'd want to see here. But right now, let's actually check in with someone who has seen that here tonight already. That's Cody Carrington, the number 9 machine. He came out of turn 2. Not exactly certain what lap it was. I can't recall exactly which one it was, but Carrington had a very, very good run here all the way up into 3rd place, I believe it was, and ultimately collided with the wall coming out of turn 2, pushed himself all the way back to 5th place, and after that, it's been history from there. I believe there was another incident after that. I can't remember too well at this point, as there's been quite a lot that's happened here in this race as we've gone green flag here since, oh shoot, what lap was it that we took that yellow flag? I have to go back all the way here. Looks like lap 8 was the last time that we took a caution, and so far it has been phenomenal racing all the way through, and frankly I'm just loving the action. But we got someone in the chat saying they'd like to see Radburn Shutters get a win here. Great driver, and he's been chasing that first league win. So Radburn Shutters here, after able to lead some laps here for just a few laps in that number 5 machine, down here into 15th place at this moment, and he's all in his lonesome at this point in time, which frankly, as a driver, that is such a tough spot to be in. You don't have anyone to work with within the draft. You don't really have any drivers to help you propel you forward and really try and get yourself into those battles that you want to be in. And frankly, at this point in the race, let's actually take a look one more time at our track map down at the right-hand side of your screen. You can tell at this point in the race, our drivers are all kinds of spread out here at this point. So, really, it's kind of tough to be able to put yourself up there in those competitive spots, as right now we're looking at Wyatt Nadel in that 04 machine, just behind Robert Hill in that 5th place spot here. All of these drivers sitting, looks like, between 6th and 10th place at this point in the race. And yeah, really, unless you're in these kind of tight packs with other drivers, it's really, really tough to be able to bring down those lap times and really get the speed that you're looking for here in this race. Riding on board here on the roof camera of Alex Carr from Fox Lake, Illinois. A rookie in the All-American ARCA series, and he also loves Mario Kart. I think at some point in every sim racer's career, they put themselves, for me it was Need for Speed, Gran Turismo for the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. I believe it was Gran Turismo. I want to say 3 or 4. Mario Kart, it was all those games that kind of got me into motorsports in general, and I think that's where a lot of people in the sim racing world kind of get their roots from, is playing those games as a kid and just thinking to yourselves, man, how cool would it be to actually go 150 miles an hour around a track? Like, that would just be awesome. Fortunately, we can now do that and not have to spend thousands of dollars to do so in real life. So, thank the iRacing service for what they do and what they offer us and offer everyone that is interested in the sim racing world. It's a phenomenal simulator to have at your disposal whenever you would like to get behind the wheel and put down some laps and potentially tell your friends that you're better than them behind the wheel. So, as we continue on with our race here, the action pretty calm, pretty steady at this point. So a lot of these drivers kind of just going to be clicking off laps here, getting ready, getting themselves mentally prepared for the next pit stop, which is going to be around, if math serves me right, about that lap 110. Well, actually, it might even be around lap 100 to lap 120, depending on what strategies drivers decide to take. got Deanna in the chat saying she'd love to see her favorite driver, the number 70 of Davis Warren, take home the win here tonight. And Davis Warren, another great driver that we've seen here in this race here tonight, currently sitting in 18th at this moment, not having the best position here as he's following along here with Finley Fitzsimmons, who currently sits in 3rd place. And if you're Finley Fitzsimmons right now, I mean, you're kind of wondering to yourself, what can I do? Finley right now sitting at about, let's actually take a look at our timing tower here for just a moment and give you guys an idea of the gaps between our drivers here as we chug along. Lap 82 of 163 here. Finley Fitzsimmons, as I was going about here, just nearly 5.5 seconds between himself and David Tooker sitting in 2nd place. And like I was saying just a little bit ago, just a few minutes ago, it's really, really tough when you're in this position by yourself, kind of all in your lonesome on the track. You don't have anyone to get in that draft with. It's tough. You're pretty much just relying on your lines. You're relying on your ability to stay consistent and keep that speed, keep that momentum going. But on the flip side here, for Finley Fitzsimmons, he's also got himself nearly 3 seconds of a gap between himself and 4th place driver Ron White. So there's kind of a double-edged, well, I don't want to say double-edged sword. It's a blessing and a curse for Finley Fitzsimmons here. He might not be able to trail down the 83 machine of David Tooker right now, but on the contrary, he doesn't really have to necessarily worry about Ron Hart unless he makes a very, very crucial mistake that's going to cost him that gap, that position. Ultimately, well, not ultimately, but at worst. So, with all of that in mind, the championship in of itself is just a phenomenal battle right there. Zach Rogers, David Tooker, as well as Casey Carrington, who unfortunately right now doesn't look like he'll be able to, well, I don't want to say that really, because Casey Carrington, he might be able to pull something off. A miracle could happen here. Casey Carrington could come all the way back here from 13th at this point in the race and put himself up there into, the top 10, the top 5, who knows? It's really, circumstance is really what's going to come down to what's going to happen here for Casey Carrington and if he's going to be able to come back up into that top 10. So I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want anything to fall into place here. I don't want anything to happen to this race. It's been purely just exciting to watch through and through. And right now, I don't think any of these drivers really want to see anything like that happen, as it's just been great, really, really solid runs here from all of our drivers. As it's lap 86 of 163 here, folks, and I think it's just about time for our first commercial break here of the race. And when we come back, we will have more coverage of the Atlanta 250 presented by Open Group. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and when we come back, we will have more of the Atlanta 250 right here on Team Goon Squad. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. There will be more iRacing right here. back, race fans. It is lap 90 of 163 here. Just over that halfway mark through the race here. Zach Rogers has been in the lead for a considerable amount of time here. I don't have an exact count of the number of laps that he has led here, but Rogers right now, you know, if he keeps up the pace that he's got, he is going to come home tonight a champion. And for that number 4 machine, that has got to be an absolutely incredible feeling. You know, I can't think of something just more enthralling as, you know, being able to say you won the championship, you know, amongst your league, amongst your peers, you know, even if it is just amongst friends, just having fun. It's always great to be able to say that you came out on top and that you won, that you were dominant in the series. It's always just, well, it gives you a little bit of bragging rights. So, but it's always great fun. It's always a very friendly competition between all of these drivers. Most of the time, I won't go into details with all the things that you'll happen to see in some iRacing leagues, but race car drivers are race car drivers, regardless if they're behind the sim or behind the real deal. Yeah, tensions can get pretty heated during a race. You know, racing is one of those things where, you know, if you get put out of the race, that's it. You know, there's no real coming back from that. Whereas, you know, football games, basketball games, you know, you get down a few points, there's a chance to come back. But racing, different story. Anywho, anyhow, we got a great battle happening for the lead here. Meanwhile, actually, it's not necessarily for the lead even. It's the number 24 machine, Cody Ricketts. Came down into the pits lap 76. He's on a little bit fresher tires than Zach Rogers and David Tooker, but only by 20 laps. So I can't imagine that the pace is, well, extremely different. But judging by what we're seeing right now, it looks like that, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Cody Ricketts seems to know what he's doing, so maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, anyhow, it's pretty steady, again, as per usual right now, as we've had just an incredible green flag run throughout this entire race, and frankly, I don't really know what else we could expect out of this race. I mean, at this, well, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the big C word. Nope, don't even think about it. I know you're thinking about it right now, and don't think about it. You better stop it. All right. We're going to keep this race going, and we're going to see exactly how this is going to unfold here, because frankly, 163, well, okay, minus 8, all right, so 175, not add 8, well, that wouldn't even be correct either. So 155 laps, excuse me, that we have gone green here, and will hopefully go green here. I'm excited. Let's see how it goes. I don't want to jinx anything though. Let's continue racing. Let's see how these drivers are stacking up here. As interestingly enough, Ron White, Finley Fitzsimmons both duking it out here for 3rd place. It's Finley Fitzsimmons up on top in that 06 machine. Ron White down in the middle lane here as we come down the back straight heading into turn 3. 27 down on the inside. Finley Fitzsimmons just a little bit of an advantage here going into turn 3, but that doesn't quite stack up here. Ron White with the advantage down on the inside coming out of turn 4, across the checkered line. He's going to retain his 3rd place spot here, but Finley Fitzsimmons, actually, who I didn't get to talk about earlier in the race, Finley Fitzsimmons, if you haven't caught any of the action of the Formula 1 Challenge over at Team Goon Squad, over on our channel, excuse me, you'll have seen Finley Fitzsimmons competing in that series, and quite a incredible driver behind the Mercedes W12, but also quite the driver here behind the wheel of an ARCA. So great to see that, as Finley Fitzsimmons going to drop down into the pits here the 2nd time for this race, lap 98 of 163. So that's actually just under what he did last time, if I'm not mistaken, by just a few laps. So not sure if he's going to be trying to take the under on that one or what exactly he's got in mind, but pit strategy is definitely coming into play here as we're looking at Casey Carrington, the 24 machine, Kyle Hall, In the 87, just out in front, the 24 machine of Cody Ricketts, who we saw a little while ago passing up the leaders and doing so quite phenomenally. I mean, I don't know what exactly Ricketts put in the fuel tank of that 24 machine, or if the pit crew, you know, slapped a NOS tank in there while the marshals weren't looking. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, I'm only kidding, folks. We've got some great action happening here, even with pit stops starting to come into play here. We got David Tooker now leading the race here, actually. Not exactly certain when this pass happened or unfolded, but Tooker able to take the lead here at, well, actually, we could probably find out here if we... So it looks like lap 97, so that was a few laps ago that David Tooker was able to get around Zach Rogers here. Unfortunately, we were not able to catch that up here in the booth, but we got the 99 machine, lap traffic of John Creedler, working his way up here to the rear end of the number 4 machine of Zach Rogers. So you can already start to see it, you know, the leaders up here that have stayed out on these same sets of tires since lap 55, lap 56, you know, they're starting to see the effects of that tire wear come into play here as we cross the line here. It's going to bring us lap 102 of 163. With just 60, looks like 62 laps left in this race. Frankly, I am very interested to see how this is all going to unfold here. So now as we look at Alex Carr for just a moment here, it looked like Michael Vandermeed was having a little bit of a battle there for just a moment, but Vandermeed, you know, there's a lot of different tires out on track right now as far as tire wear is concerned. I mean, we got drivers that are, a majority of the field is out on tires from lap 55, around that margin. We got a couple that are out lap 87, lap 96, 76, 65. It's all over the place, folks. It is absolutely all over the place. And frankly, I don't really know what all of these drivers are going to have in mind here for this race. I mean, again, this is the season finale. This is the race that counts. I mean, if you're Zach Rogers, if you're David Tooker, if you're Casey Carrington, this is the race that absolutely matters the most. Because for Zach Rogers, it's a matter of 20 points for him to retain that championship lead. For David Tooker, it's a matter of 20 points to taking that lead for the championship. Casey Carrington, 35 points. So it's a close battle here for the top 3 in the championship right now. Again, the team championship is a little bit of a different story here. So taking a look at our team championships right now, Mountain Man Motorsports going to be sitting at the very tippy top of the team standings right now with 1,115 points. Outlaw Racing with 839. Cornerstone Motorsports with 773 points. Running out the top 3 there for our team standings at this point in the race here. So, or in the season rather, not even in the race. So right now, Mountain Man Motorsports, you know, they definitely have the team championship in the bag. There's not really a whole lot there that they're going to be too concerned about, as we see Finley Fitzsimmons making the pass around Gareth McAllister for that 13th place spot. The 06 machine on the charge. Hopefully going to see that 06 machine back up here in the top 3 before too long. And speaking of things to happen before too long, the leader, David Tooker, as well as Zach Rogers, going to be expecting to see these 2 drivers come down into the pits before too long, and that might be... Nope, not right now. Okay, never mind. So, again, David Tooker here came in lap 56. So, right now as he crosses the line, that's going to be 51 laps that he has stayed out on these same set of tires. And knowing that the tire window, you can expand that up to about 65 laps before you really need to come in, and I don't know if any drivers are going to want to go out that long, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, there may be a couple drivers that are wanting to extend the tires, extend the life of those tires, stay out as long as possible. That's going to allow them to come out on those fresher sets, and frankly, that's going to put him in a pretty interesting spot. It's going to give him a pretty good advantage going into the final, really, quarter of the race here. As we are just about to that 50 laps left to go here. And still just awaiting for our leaders, the top, looks like the top 9, actually, to come down into the pits and take that third. Well, no, actually, no, not even third. This would be probably their last pit stop. Quite possibly, they might. I think this is exactly what they're doing. They're going to be making this a two-stop strategy here, and they're going to take it all the way to probably lap, like I said, a lap 110, a lap 120. Was going to be the window here, and I think that's where they're going to push it, because knowing that they can make it on 53 laps of tire wear here, I don't know. I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. Greg Carr, he's going to come down into the pits here in that number 25 machine. So just waiting to see what exactly our field is going to do here. David Tooker coming across the line. That's going to bring us lap 110 of 163 here. Just 54 laps left to go before we see the checkered flag fly. The number 2 machine getting a little unsettled there. Able to recover Cody McCorkle, the number 2, down the back straight here. Not exactly certain if he made contact with the wall there, but he's able to keep it together. Going into turn 3 and out of 4 now, down the front straight. So, again, Zach Rogers. He's decided to come in. The second place driver of the number 4 machine, Zach Rogers, going to come down into the pits earlier than the leader, David Tooker. So, okay. All right. Zach Rogers is looking to put himself back into the lead here, quite possibly. And frankly, I think Rogers is the one to look for the win here tonight. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. There's still plenty of racing left to do here, and there's a lot still that could happen. As we're looking at Matthias Weeks, Wyatt Nadel, I believe. That is Wyatt Nadel. Okay, I was making sure that wasn't lap traffic, but these two drivers duking it out right now for that second place spot as, again, Zach Rogers dropping down into the pits. He's going to come out now into 11th place, so Zach Rogers is going to be on those final set of tires. Final set of tires and final fuel that he's going to need for the rest of this race here. So let's see what Zach Rogers has got in store for the remainder of this race here. And frankly, man, this is just going to be very interesting to watch here. David Tooker now down into the pits, as well as the number 2 machine of Cody McCorkle. So they're going to be completing assuming their final pit stop for tonight. So Wyatt Nadel right now in the 04 machine going to be the leader. It looks like, nope, he's not going to come down the pits this time. Taking a look here at some of our field. We're looking at Davis Warren in the number 70 machine, sitting in 7th at this point in time. Another driver that we're going to be expecting to see coming down into the pits here before too long, but he was also the driver to set the benchmark here for the longest time out on the same set of tires with 66 laps. As Wyatt Nadel, Matthias Weeks, both first and second place coming down into the pits here. That's going to put Finley Fitzsimmons and Michael Vandermeed in first and second once they cross those drivers down in pit lane. Across the checkered line, it's lap 115 of 163 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Atlanta 250. Today's race is brought to you by Open Brew. I hope you all have been enjoying the action here so far, and thank you all for watching, and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Catch all the action here at Team Goon Squad, as there is always plenty of racing to catch here. As right now, Finley Fitzsimmons in the lead. Michael Vandermeed in that second place spot. But right now, that's not the driver that Finley's going to be worried about. It's Cody Ricketts, who we have seen just challenging the leaders time after time again. You know, again, I don't know what's going on, what's hitting that number 24 machine. I truly believe that the pit crew down there in the 24 stall, they definitely threw, you know, a NOS canister in the back seat or something. You know, they covered it up with like a blanket or something so the marshals wouldn't see it. You know, full blast. You know, there's probably like, I don't know, 50 pounds, 100 pounds of NOS in there. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. I certainly don't, because Cody Ricketts here is just flying around the track and just passing up guys left and right. I love to see it. I really do. Frankly, I love to do. Cody Ricketts sitting in 24th right now. You know, down a couple laps at this point. Really, he's just trying to make the best of it, trying to do all that he can, seeing what he can make up here in this final stage of the race here. So not knocking on him, just having a little fun here and appreciating the fact that he is just moving and grooving around the track here as fast as he is. So as we look right now, David Tooker, the 83 machine, the next driver that we could possibly see take away the championship, sitting in third place at this moment. He's got Zach Rogers, the 4 machine, in that Jim Beam sponsored car just out in front of him as they make their way going into turn 3 now. Lap 118 of 163 here. It has been quite the phenomenal race here tonight, folks, and I hope everyone has been enjoying the action here. But while that's happening, let's take a moment. Let's actually ride on board here with Alex Penn in the number 30 machine for a moment, and let's listen to the sights and sounds here once again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. All right, folks, well, welcome back. I just realized that the whole time I was talking to myself, so welcome back. I hope that you all didn't miss me too much, but we're going to be back here calling the action here once again, now that everyone can hear my lovely voice once again. James Silvers, Ron White, all going to be here in 5th and 6th place here at this moment. Lap 125 of 163. I was talking a little bit how this might just be probably the last pit stop that we'll see from all of our drivers here. I don't think there's really going to be anyone else that I expect to see come on. Well, actually, Radburn Shutters has disconnected for the race. He decided to come down into the pits lap 75 and took it behind the wall. So that's going to be the end of the number 5's race tonight. As right now we're looking, Zach Rogers, David Tooker duking it out here for first place. Working their way into turn 1, you can see the number 24 machine of Cody Ricketts. No, actually, that's the number 70 machine. Similar color it looked like, but that's Davis Warren, the number 70 machine, a driver that's a lap down. At this point in time, he is up here with the top 2. And seeing if he's going to be able to unlap himself and get around the leader right now of the number 4 machine of Zach Rogers. Oh, a little bit of a wobble there from David Tooker. Zach Rogers getting very close there. Almost bumping and beating doors there for just a moment. And it, funny enough there as well, the 70 machine of Davis Warren saw that contact almost about to happen. Well, it did happen, and he backed off there. He was like, nope, I'm going to wait until this settles out here, and then I'll go. And here he goes now around the number 4 machine of Zach Rogers, who right now, Zach, oh man, I can only imagine what Zach's feeling right now, because again, David Tooker only needs that 20 points to be able to take home the championship tonight. If I'm understanding everything correctly, that's all he needs to win the race here tonight. You take home 50 points in the championship. So by my math, he should have more than enough points to be able to take home the championship here tonight, and that could look very, very good here for David Tooker. And for Zach Rogers, that could just be crushing, absolutely crushing. But we've seen a lot of drive here out of both drivers, and really I don't think that this race is over yet for either one of them. Casey Carrington, that we're looking at right now, you know, the 3rd place driver in the championship at this point in this season, ultimately not having the best race here tonight, you know, and it's really unfortunate to see. Casey had a really good start, but just that one mishap, getting into the wall there, you know, oh man, that cost Casey a lot of time in a lot of positions, and he's been fighting that all night, trying to get himself back up here into even the top 10, sitting at 14th right now currently. He has put in a lot of work here to be able to get himself back up here to where he's at, and frankly, not the way that he probably wanted to end the season here, but ultimately he's still out here on track, he's still racing, so couldn't have been worse. We'll just leave it at that. But lap 131 of 163 here, we are just about to that point in the race where the 25 laps left to go comes across our screens, and we get ready for the checkered flag to fly. But there's still quite a lot of racing left. Wow, left. That almost starts to sound like a cheat code for a PlayStation 2 game. Anyway, there's only a few laps left here before we come to that checkered flag mark. And frankly, again, I want to give credit to every single one of these drivers here tonight. Lap 8 was the last time that we saw that big C word come out. Lap 8. And we're on lap 132. Incredible. Hats off to every single driver here tonight for keeping this race going as long as it has. It's not easy, folks. It's not easy keeping these races going as long as they do, especially when you're talking 100+ laps at any oval, any circuit, any course, any racetrack that you want to go to. When you're talking 100+ laps, it's long, and to do the same thing over and over again, it's definitely taxing on the driver. So to be able to keep this race going as long as these drivers have, it's purely amazing and great to watch, great to witness. So As we're looking right now at Alex Carr, the number 1 machine, sitting in 17th right now. Daniel Half just behind him, the number 33 machine, getting a little currently lapped by David Tooker in the 83 machine, who at this moment, you know, David Tooker, this lap traffic is really only going to play into his favor even further, as, you know, Zach is going to have to work through the same traffic. And right now, looking at timing and scoring, the gap between these two drivers is only getting bigger and bigger. Right now, David Tooker with just about a second and a quarter between himself and Zach Rogers. So Tooker's going to be looking pretty good here right now. And frankly, Zach Rogers is going to be, really tough spot. Really, really tough spot. But there's still quite a few laps left to turn here, and there's still time to make something happen. So we just got to be patient. We got to wait and see what these drivers have in store for us, and see how this race is going to unfold here. So, as we continue to look on here, you know, I was expecting this battle here for David Tooker, Zach Rogers, and I really, really wanted to see Casey Carrington up here. I really, really did, folks. You know, how amazing would it be to have a 3-way battle for the championship on the season finale? Imagine that. A 3-way battle for the championship. I just can't think of anything more exciting than that. That would just blow my mind. I mean, you have 3 drivers that are all in contention for the championship that could come away with the win. How awesome is that? That is incredible, and it could have happened here tonight. You know, in Casey Carrington, I'm almost certain that Carrington came into tonight's race and he wanted to have that. I think every single one of these every single one of these drivers that are in the championship lead right now, probably, well, yeah, actually, you know what, maybe not. Even right as let me catch myself right there. Not every single driver would want to have that happen, but myself in the booth, for everyone watching at home, you know, I am almost certain that we would all love to see that kind of action here. I can't think of anything better. But 25 laps left to go here as David Tooker crosses the line. And this is it, folks. This is it. This is where the nitty-gritty starts to come in. And with how things are shaping up right now, I really don't know I can predict what's going to happen, how this race is going to end, but I can't exactly say for certain if there's going to be any kind of final just game-changing moments that just completely throw a wrench in the gear for tonight's race. That I definitely cannot say for certain. As we watch right now, Michael Vandermeer able to make the pass on the inside of Cody McCorkle in that number 2 machine down the back straight here. We're just kind of checking in with some of our drivers here as they continue to make their way around Atlanta Motor Speedway for the final 24 laps and get themselves ready to cross the line for the final time here for season number 3 of the All-American ARCA Series. Today's race presented by Open Group. A big shout out to them as well for sponsoring the series, as well as having us on here to broadcast the events week after week. And for all of you at home that don't know or haven't been informed already or just now tuning in for the very first time, this will be the very last race that we covered here on Team Goon Squad of the All-American ARCA Series. It has been a very, very great 3 seasons that we have had here with the All-American ARCA Series, and on behalf of James East as well as Team Goon Squad, we would like to thank every single one involved, as well as everyone that has tuned in week after week to the All-American ARCA Series. Thank you all, and we appreciate everything that you have done for Team Goon Squad, as well as tuning in every week. It's been truly great, and All-American ARCA Series has been one of the first leagues and series that we have covered here on the Team Goon Squad channel since we have started covering iRacing events. So, with that in mind, again, thank you everyone who has tuned in here tonight, and I hope that everyone has enjoyed the action that we have seen here tonight. So, thank you all. Let's continue to have a great race here, and let's end tonight's race on a high note, and hopefully we will get to see you all in future races and future places. We continue to share the passion of motorsports together. So, again, thank you everyone, and let's get ready to finish off this race here. Let's have at it. As right now, you know, David Tooker still in the lead right now with 20 laps left to go. I don't really think there's much going to happen here for David Tooker as far as, you know, Zach Rogers. Look at this. Fitzsimmons as well as Michael Vandermeer. They're both going to be trailing along with each other, sitting in 9th and 10th place respectively, and they just passed the second place driver of Zach Rogers. Absolutely thrilling. I mean, that's just a pure example too of what I was talking about earlier in the broadcast, how when you're on the track, kind of in your lonesome, and there's drivers that are getting into those draft packages, they're able to gain a lot of speed and get really, really fast on that track. And once they catch up to you, it's like a freight train passing you. There is nothing that you can do to keep up with them, to merge with them. I mean, you could try and merge with them after they passed you, but the chances of you catching up to that draft and staying with it, tough. Very tough. Unless you're on a track like, well, I mean, on Talladega or super speedways in general, it's amplified. It's even worse. So I can't really say that, but 18 laps left to go here. I mean, this is really all that you can do at this point in the race is stick with each other, stick on those bumpers, and keep with each other as close as you possibly can to just keep up that speed, keep up that momentum, and continue to drive yourself forward. Finley Fitzsimmons, he's down on the inside of Michael Vandermeer, trying to see if he's going to be able to make a pass here into 9th place, sitting in 10th right now. As really this is kind of the only battle that we have on track right now is between these two drivers. As let's see if we can take a look at a wide view of our field here. Not exactly as wide as I would prefer it, but it kind of gives you a perspective of how spread out this field is. And if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see the timing difference in gap between all of our drivers. So that kind of also gives you a little bit of an idea here. But Finley Fitzsimmons continuing his charge here. You can see getting down onto the bumper on the inside as he makes his way out of turn 2 and down the back straight here once again. It's 16 laps left to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, folks. The season finale is nigh. And a checkered flag will fly, and a champion will be crowned for the race here tonight. And a lot of incredible racing that we have seen here. And look at this, David Tooker now going to be looking at the 9th and 10th place drivers. Michael Vandermeer, Finley Fitzsimmons starting to make their way down on the inside of our leader here. That's going to unlap themselves and put themselves back on the lead lap here with 15 laps left to go. Still a lot of track left to go before they're back up here into the same spot again, but the fact that they were able to pass both the 2nd place and 1st place driver here, being in this little tight package together, that just goes to show that these drivers, they know what they're doing. They're definitely working together. They're well, maybe not necessarily working together, but they're definitely in the mindset that, hey, we gotta do something here to be able to make this work. Otherwise, we're just going to be sitting ducks. And sometimes that's all it takes. As right now, Alex Carr had Gareth McAllister in the 888 machine on his outside there for just a moment, but down the back straight we go. Gareth McAllister going to be falling behind the number 1 machine heading into turn 3. Again, a lot of our field here quite spread out. Let's take a look at our track map and you will see exactly what I mean. Down on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, you can see exactly how far spread apart these drivers are and just exactly where everyone is at. As right here, we're looking still at Finley Fitzsimmons and Greg Carr, the two drivers that we mentioned, the closest in battles here at this point in the race, with 12 laps left to go. Just a few drivers here, all within, I would say, a second of each other, but even that is still quite the distance to close between each other. It takes a lot to be able to close that distance. As we're going to ride on board here with Greg Carr in the number 25 machine across the line. It's 11 laps left to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Just getting a little bit of an idea here what it's like from the 25 machine's perspective. There you go. You see the 7 of Michael Vandermeer working his way down the inside, and down the back straight we go here, heading towards turn 3. Getting ourselves ready and set up for the final couple laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Folks, this has been incredible. And right now, David Tooker, with only this many laps left to go, David Tooker, I don't know. I think he's got it, folks. I hate to say, well, I don't hate to say it, but for Zach Rogers, I hate to say it, but I think he's got it. I think he might come away with the win here tonight, and I think he might come away with the win for the championship. But it's still 10 laps left to go. There's still a lot of things that could happen here. So let's stay patient. Let's see exactly what's going to unfold here. So David Tooker right now making his way around a little bit of lap traffic here. That's the 25 machine of Greg Carr, and he's got behind him the number 99 of John Creedler. As they make their way down the back straight here, it's 9 laps left to go. Michael Vandermeer just ahead of David Tooker at this point in time, with Finley Fitzsimmons just ahead of him, the 06 machine. Vandermeer all in his lonesome at this moment. This is exactly what I was talking about, folks. When you find yourself in this spot, this is the easiest way to get lapped. It's not even any fault of the drivers. Really, it's just a matter of where you happen to find yourself out on track. It's really unfortunate, really unfortunate to see, but that's racing. That is what you are going to see in a race like this. So 8 laps left to go as we continue on here. And folks, you know, man, I really wasn't expecting the race to go the way that it has, but here we are with 7 laps left to go, and really I was expecting some pretty close battles here towards the end, but right now it's definitely taken a different turn of direction. That's for certain. Pit strategies definitely have worked out here for David Tooker. Oh, we got a little bit of a wall grind here from the 27 of Ron White down out of turn 2. He's loose, brings it back together going into turn 3. That could have been a lot worse there from the number 27 machine. Coming out of turn 4, he's still back together. Man, that is definitely not what you want to see here with 6 laps left to go, but it's always these final couple laps of the race that things really start to get interesting, and you're never really too certain what's going to happen. You're always kind of be on your toes, and just got to be on the lookout for whatever could possibly happen down there on track. It's 5 laps left to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Atlanta 250. David Tooker, our race leader at this point in time, having led practically the majority of the race here, shared alongside his teammate with Zach Rogers, who Zach Rogers was also looking extremely confident and might have been able to come away with the win here, but I'm not exactly certain what's happened there for the number 4 machine. But David Tooker, he's able to keep it up here in front and in the lead, and that is going to look like David Tooker taking home the win here at this point in time. But it's still 4 laps left to go. Here we go, folks. I hope you're ready. I'm ready. I know I certainly am. Only time, only just a matter of time, folks. This is just exciting. I am thrilled to see how this is going to end here. And there we go, 3 laps left to go. Not much longer here, and champion is going to be crowned. This is going to be the end of season number 3 of the All-American ARCA Series, presented by Open Group. What a phenomenal season it has been, and what a fight that all of these drivers have had to get to this point here in the season. David Tooker coming away with 3 wins for the season so far. If these next two laps go in his favor, he's going to come away with 4 wins in total. And that will possibly bring him the win for the championship here as well. So as the final lap is out here, the white flag will fly. David Tooker still in the lead right now. Zach Rogers sitting in second place. Wyatt Nadel sitting in third place here. And quite a bit of distance separating these 3 drivers. So a lot of distance separating them at this point in time. And frankly, I don't expect that to change here as we come across the line here with David Tooker, and that's going to bring home the win here for the number 83 machine with Zach Rogers in second place. Wyatt Nadel going to be coming across the line here in third place, and that is going to be the top 3 here for the Atlanta 250 as the rest of our field makes their way around the track and gets themselves across the line for the finish of today's race. And folks, I got to say, what a phenomenal race that we have had here tonight. Great racing from everyone involved. So, as we get ourselves ready for our post-race results, and here they are on our screen right now. It's David Tooker taking it home for the win in the number 83 machine. Zach Rogers in second in the number 4. Wyatt Nadel in the 04 taking home third. Ron White in 4th. Mathias Weeks in 5th. Alex Penn in 6th. Robert Hill in 7th. Finley Fitzsimmons in 8th. Michael Vandermeed in 9th. And Greg Carr in 10th. All right, so the number 4, Zach Rogers, is actually going to be crowned the champion of the season. So I was incorrect on my assumptions there. So David Tooker still taking home the win here, but Zach Rogers ultimately going to be taking home the championship here. But that is going to get us ready and started for our post-race interviews here. So let's go ahead and get ready for that here in just a moment. Give me just a second here. So we're going to be doing things a little bit backwards here than we usually do here. But as we get ourselves just one final step set up here, and we will get ourselves ready to go here. All right, so the first driver that we are going to have up in the commentating booth, Wyatt Nadel in the 04 machine, going to be taking home third place here tonight after a very incredible race here. Let's go ahead and get Wyatt in the booth. Wyatt, sir, do you have a read?
Hey, Mason, what's going on, man?
What is going on, Wyatt? It has been an incredible race here tonight, and for yourself in the 04 machine, walk me through tonight and how you ended up here in third. You know, it kind of seemed like an up and down race for a lot of drivers here tonight, and it definitely didn't seem like an exception for yourself here as well.
Yeah, I mean, we started off and I was really focused on, we had 3 sets of extra tires, so I was like, okay, we got to save these guys. And so I was in tire save mode early. I dropped back to like 16th or something, made it up to, I believe, 5th or 6th before the first pit stop on that long green flag run. And me and Matthew Weeks had a great job running next to each other pretty much the rest of the race. And car felt good. Got a little loose as the run went on, which I know a lot of people got tight, but so that worked in my favor. But pretty happy with 3rd place today.
Absolutely. You got to be happy with a podium anytime it comes to you. And walking away with a podium at the season finale, how are you looking forward going into season 4?
I think it's a lot to build on. We've got a blank number 04 crew chief's corner motorsports. What is the ARCA car? Chevy? Yeah, Chevy. And I'd like to put a sponsor on it and get some backing there. I got to thank Bobby Bailey and Cody McCorkle. They've been awesome, and I appreciate them giving me this ride late in the season to run part-time.
Absolutely. Well, it was great to watch yourself in the 04 machine taking it across the line for 3rd place here tonight. But Wyatt, before we let you go and crack one open and celebrate tonight with the rest of the gang here, is there anyone watching the broadcast, anyone in the pit crew or at home that you would like to shout out or thank before you go?
Yeah, my mom and dad for watching. My girlfriend Bailey. Shout out to Tuker for winning the race, and shout out to Zach for winning the ship. That's awesome. Good to see an affiliate win that guy, and I'm just looking for next year, man.
Absolutely. Another season to look forward here with the All-American ARCA Series, and Wyatt Nadel taking home 3rd place on the podium for the season finale. Wyatt, congratulations, and thank you for joining me here in the booth, and good luck to you going into season 4.
Thank you, Mason.
Absolutely. Have a great night.
You too.
Alrighty, folks, that's the 04 machine. Wyatt Nadel taking home 3rd place on the podium here tonight. We're going to be doing things a little bit backwards here, so bear with me as we are going to go now to David Tooker in the number 83 machine, who actually took home the win for tonight's race. This will all make sense here in just a moment. David, sir, do you have a read?
I got you, Mason.
David, welcome to the booth after an incredible race here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. David, okay, so I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I was a little confused about the point stuff and all that and how things would stack up here after tonight. Looking at the season standings, it almost seemed to me that it looked like if you were to come home with the win tonight, that you would come home with the drivers' championship. But I was misunderstood in that assumption. But either way, you were coming home. You were driving tonight like you wanted to bring home a championship. I mean, that 83 machine was just incredible out on track, and yourself and your teammate Zach Rogers, I mean, you both had your moments there on track where you were just duking it out side by side, lap after lap. Walk me through your night, David, and kind of explain to me what it took to lead probably the most laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
You said it, Mason. Just a great run by all of us. Sweeping the podium with Mountain Man Motorsports. Can't ask for much better than that. Like you said, just was a really clean race between me and Zach. There's a lot of respect there. Me and him have had many side-by-side battles before in the past, and we love racing each other. And more importantly, we love bringing home good results for the team. So, I'm glad to get the win. Unfortunately, wasn't able to bring home the chip, but good partner in Zach Rogers got it for us tonight. So really happy for him. He put on an amazing show this entire season. He's really stepped it up the second half, and just really glad to bring it home, get the win, and sweeping the podium for Mountain Man Motorsports.
Absolutely, and what an incredible championship for Mountain Man Motorsports. I mean, you guys just absolutely swept the field as far as that is concerned. So, like you said, it's just a great win for Mountain Man Motorsports in general, and a great win for yourself here tonight, David. But last question here, heading into season 4, how are you feeling now that this season is wrapped up? Mountain Man Motorsports is going to come home victorious for the team, as well as with just a great success throughout the team in general. How are you feeling about season 4, and do you have similar success plans going forward?
Absolutely. I like you said, just confidence is at an all-time high for our team. Like I said, Zach's really stepped up to the plate. You know, in the last 5 races, he's bagged 2 or 3 wins. So, you know, he's right there with me, and to bring home another win for Mountain Motorsports. That's our 4th win. I think that's 7 overall for us out of, I forget how many races we've had, but just you know, the confidence in the garage is just at an all-time high. Everybody wants to see each other do well. You know, we're all working together, trying to get the best results we can. I think we had 4 of our cars, actually all of our cars in the top 10, which honestly you can't ask for much better than that. That's just peak performance. I'm so happy to be on this team, and just like you said, just going into the next season with the same mentality. You know, it's every point counts, every win counts. You got to be there, and having a slouch race can really set you back. So I think the goal for next season is just to do what we did tonight and do what we did this entire season, and hopefully it plays out the same way it did.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more there. You know, and looking right now at the season standings, it does look like you were correct. Mountain Man Motorsports coming home with a total of 7 wins for the season. Absolutely incredible. The next team down from that in second place, Outlaw Racing, only coming home with a single win for the season. So again, that just goes to show how much the Triple M team has really dominated the All-American ARCA series here. But David, before we get on to our interview here with your teammate Zach Rogers, before we let you go and celebrate Crack One Open with your teammates, is there anyone watching the broadcast, anyone in the pit crew or at home that you would like to shout out and thank before you go?
Absolutely. Like I said, everybody at Mountain Man Motorsports, I love running with this team. Want to give a huge shout to Robert Hill Jr. For contacting me at the start of the season, or end of last season, start of this season. We ran a few races for him, and we brought home some promising results. And he gave me the call to come run one of his cars full time, and to bring home 4 wins for him, a lot of podiums. Just super happy for the opportunity, and I want to thank everybody that's watching in the chat, all of our fans, everybody at All-American ARCA Series, Casey Carrington, DJ Weeks. I know I'm going to forget a few names. Kyle Hall. There's so many people that run this program as well as it does, and we showed that we have the talent to run up there with some of the best leagues, and there's a lot of good competition in here. And like I said, just everybody at All-American ARCA Series for what they do. We ran a great race tonight. Only 1 caution, so can't ask for much better than that. I also want to thank you, Mason, for stepping in. I know this is probably your first race commentating for us, but glad to have you on board, and really looking forward to watching this race back. So really appreciate what you're doing up here, and as well as everybody at Team Goon Squad.
Absolutely appreciate it, David, and thank you for joining me here in the booth, and congratulations on your win here tonight, and good luck to you going into Season 4.
Alrighty, thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. Have a great night. All right, folks, that was our race winner. David Tooker in the 83 machine, taking home the win tonight in today's race. But Zach Rogers up next in the booth here in the number 4 machine. Zach Rogers taking home second place in the race here, but is going to take home the championship, the one that matters the most, here for Season 3 of the All-American ARCA Series. Zach Rogers, how are you feeling right now? And, man, how are you feeling right now, Zach?
I feel good. I'm just kind of glad it's over with. It's been a stressful 3-ish weeks trying to stay out front. But yeah, congrats to Tucker, man. He ran a hell of a race. It would have been nice to get a win with the last one and the championship, but I'm glad he did. He was definitely deserving of it. He was a faster car, and he's a great teammate. He's been awesome all year long. And yeah, just congrats to him.
Absolutely. And talking with David and talking about Mountain Man Motorsports and just how the team has dominated the season, you know, walk me through, as David was saying, I haven't really been here for the whole All-American ARCA series, so this is kind of an opportunity for me to understand a little bit how the season has gone. And Zach, I want to hear it from the champion himself. How has the season gone for yourself as well as for your team?
It's been pretty good for all of us. I think it started out with Matthew Weeks. He's been pretty dominant the first half of the season, and then the second half he ran into some trouble. Yeah, shout out to him as well. He was definitely deserving of this thing. I told him that, and I definitely wanted to win it for him. And but yeah, he did really everybody here did well, and we've got great chemistry. I love racing with these guys every week. Couldn't ask for any better teammates.
Absolutely. It was a great race to watch. And just one more thing to kind of end off here before we end off our final thank yous and whatnot. Just watching the little bit of bumping and grinding that yourself and your teammate David Tooker were having there. You know, there was a lot of great competition here in tonight's race, and really myself up here in the booth, I wasn't expecting the green flag run that we had here. I don't think anyone was, for that matter. You know, were you expecting us to go 155 laps under green?
I wasn't sure. Like you said, there's a little more bump and run you can do here rather than Rockingham last week, and Rockingham was a little greener than I was expecting, so I figured maybe it would carry over to here and it would end up being a little chaotic, but no, it was a really good race. And yeah, me and Tooker have had some good battles these past few races, and glad we got to have another one here. And yeah, I'm just glad it ended the way it did. It was a really good race. We've had 3 pretty solid races here at the end, and hopefully it carries over to next season. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it here from the season champion, Zach Rogers, the number 4 machine, taking home the win here for season number 3. But before we end it off here tonight, Zach, is there anyone at home, anyone in the broadcast, anyone in the pit crew that you want to give your shout outs to or thanks before you head out and crack open that champagne bottle and spray down the second and third place drivers down there on the podium?
Just thanks to everybody who's been a part of this. Casey, Kyle, DJ, Johnny, Joseph, you guys here broadcasting. Everybody here has a role, and we couldn't do it without everybody for showing up every week. And then everybody at Mountain Man, big thanks to Robert Hill for putting this thing together. Tooker, Matthew Weeks, I'm forgetting. There's so many people to thank. All the guys at Crew Chiefs Corner Motorsports, they're basically part of us too. I couldn't have done it without any of them.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you, Zach, for coming up here and joining me in the booth, and congratulate you on taking home the championship for season number 3. Zach, I'm sure it was a heck of a season, and I'm sure that tonight you are going to, you're going to get out of that sim rig and you're going to enjoy yourself and know that, it was a well-earned victory. But Zach, thank you once again for coming up here and joining me, and I will let you go and let your celebrations begin.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mason. Pleasure to have you.
Absolutely. Have a great night, Zach.
You too.
Alrighty, folks. So that was Zach Rogers taking home second place in the race here tonight. But like I just said just a moment ago, taking home the championship for season number 3 of the All-American ARCA series here in 2022. And that is going to conclude our coverage here of the Atlanta 250. Folks, I hope every single one of you has enjoyed the action here tonight, and if you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching, and it has been a great 3 seasons that we have covered here at Team Goon Squad with the All-American ARCA series. Again, if you weren't here earlier on the broadcast, this is the final race that we will be covering here with the All-American ARCA series. On behalf of Team Goon Squad and James East, thank you to everyone here in the All-American ARCA series, as well as everyone watching, and we hope to see you around. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.